Let's take a look at another example. Here we have the antiderivative of e to the 1 over x, all divided by x squared. Now you might be thinking, what is my u in this particular expression? Well, again, we cannot use a normal antiderivative rule. We do have to use U-substitution, but the question is, what is u? Remember I told you that u is usually an expression inside of a function. We can see the outside function here is e to the x. Inside of that we have 1 over x, so that's a good hint. The other thing to think about is if I take the derivative of 1 over x, do I get something that will cancel with what's left, in this case x squared? The answer is yes, because this is 1 over x, which is x to the negative 1. If I take the derivative of that, I'm going to get negative x to the negative 2, which will, x to the negative 2 is the same as 1 over x squared. It looks like it will cancel. So step 1 is to determine the u expression. Again, in this case, it will be that 1 over x right here, because it's inside of a function and because it will cancel with something else. This makes sense because it is inside the function e to the x, and the derivative will cancel the x squared on the bottom. So our u will be 1 over x. If I take the derivative of that, we will convert that to x to the negative 1, same as 1 over x. That way, when we take the derivative, d dx of the expression, we get du dx equals negative x to the negative 2. That is achieved using the power rule. And again, that's step 2, which is taking the derivative of u. And so we're taking d dx. Step 3, get dx by itself. Again, we're doing that so we can eliminate it in this expression. So to get dx by itself, normally what you do is you cross multiply. So we can put this expression in 1. It's going to be dx times negative x to the negative 2 equals du. And then we will divide both sides by negative x to the negative 2. So we get dx equals du over negative x to the negative 2. And since x to the negative 2 is on bottom, we can make it positive and put it on top. So it will be negative x squared du equals dx. And now we can see that when we replace dx with this, the x squared will cancel. The x squared will cancel, which is what we want. Okay, so step 4, replace the expression by u and then the dx in terms of du. So since we made u 1 over x, it will be replaced with u here. And the dx we just showed is equal to negative x squared du. So it will be replaced by negative x squared du. Now we can see these x squareds are going to cancel. When we simplify, the x squareds will cancel. We can pull this negative out front. Now we just have the negative antiderivative of e to the u du, which would be very easy because we know the antiderivative of e to the u is just e to the u. Step 6, we're going to replace remaining x's in terms of u if necessary. In this case, it's not. We have no x's, so we can take the antiderivative. Okay, so since there's no x's in here, we can go ahead and take the antiderivative of this. Again, it's going to be very simple. And now, if there were x's, we'd have to ensure, again, for step 7, that you can take the antiderivative. But like I said, it's going to be really easy. Okay, step 8, take the antiderivative. The negative is going to stay. Antiderivative of e to the u is e to the u. Don't forget your plus c. And of course, we have to replace this u with what we said equal to in terms of x. It's equal to 1 over x. So for step 9, change u back in terms of x. So we get negative e to the 1 over x plus c. And step 10, we can check by taking the derivative of this. We will have to use a little bit of the chain rule. But when we simplify that, we get e to the 1 over x divided by x squared. These two negatives will cancel. And guess what? That is exactly what we started with. So we know that our answer was correct. So again, this one's easy, a lot easier than what it looks once you find the correct u. And when you find the correct u, you just have to take the antiderivative of e to the u, and you get a simple answer, which, just to refresh your memory, the final answer is negative e to the 1 over x plus c is your antiderivative. If you have any other questions about this example, let me know.